Hey guys, it's Erica, and as you could tell by the title, this video is not a great one to film, but I felt like I should fill you guys in on what's been happening in my life since I haven't been posting. And this isn't the reason that I haven't been posting, it's just like a little life update kind of, and I figured it would help me to share with you guys how I've been feeling or something like that. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and if I liked it, it'll be uploaded. So here you go. So last week I went to my grandpa's funeral in Jamaica, and I don't know what to tell you guys. I went to his funeral in Jamaica last weekend. I went from Thursday to Monday. Today is June 22nd. And his funeral is on, I don't know, but he died in May. He died in May 26th. And so now I don't have my grandpa and my grandma, but I never told you guys when my grandma passed away, which was 2 years ago, and I didn't tell YouTube or really anybody for that matter, but I'm gonna just walk you guys through the timeline to where we are now so you guys can feel caught up and not like left out or whatever. People who know me can actually know what was going on. So 2 years ago, that would be sophomore year or like the beginning of junior. It was the beginning of junior year. On the second day of school, I found out that my grandma had passed away, and I was on the bus and my aunt called me and she told me, and I still went to class because I didn't want to get kicked out of class, and I was fine. I was handling it fine because previously, before she passed away, my grandma and I talked every day that I came to college. Especially when I was living in the dorm the first year, we spoke every day in the evening, and so I feel like that really helped me with like closure and not really feeling like I missed out on anything and feeling bad up until a certain point. And so I guess she got sick during my sophomore year, but she was sick, but she was like, I was still like talking to her and stuff. And then coming closer to my birthday in March, like the end of sophomore year, I was speaking to her and my grandpa, he told me to come and visit them in Jamaica, and I couldn't go and visit because I was taking summer classes, and I said that after my summer classes I would come visit, but I didn't have any money to go buy my ticket, and I didn't want to ask anybody for money, and so I just continued to go to school because I only had 2 weeks of summer, so I just stayed in Tallahassee and then went to school and told them I'd see them for Christmas. So I told them I'd see them for Christmas, and then on the second day of school, my grandma passed away, and so I on the second day of school, my grandma passed away, and so I never got to see her. So I didn't really feel like I missed out on anything. I just for a while felt like I should have went to go and see her when my grandpa told me to come, but he didn't tell me to come because she was sick or like he thought she was dying or anything. He just told me that he wanted me to come, and I guess I should have known that I should have went because they've never, like, they asked me to come, but they've never, like, they tell me to come, they've never like asked me to come before, so I guess I should have known or something. And so for a while I felt bad that I didn't go, and I kind of felt like it was my fault that I didn't get to see her before she passed away. But I got over it after a while, like recently, like this year, because you know you're not supposed to blame yourself for those kinds of things. And I don't really, as you guys know, my year resolution is always to live life without regrets, and so I did regret that for a while, but now I don't. So anyways, I was fine, and then I was going on about my life, and then I went to like a football game. I wasn't gonna go to the funeral because I felt like funerals are kind of like for closure for people, and I felt like a funeral would just make me feel not fine because I was dealing with it really well. But then I had to go to the funeral because my family really wanted me to, and so I remember I was at the first football game of the season with my friends Jane, Christabel, and Aaliyah, and I was on the phone with my aunt, and I was buying my plane ticket to go to Jamaica while at the pregame? Yeah, the pregame for the football game. And that's when I told my friends, Christabel and Janae, that my grandma died. I didn't tell anyone before that, and so they were the only ones who knew for a very, very, very long time. And then like when I say very long time, they're the only ones who knew for like a year. So then I went to the funeral, and then I had to speak at the funeral. I did not know I was going to speak at the funeral. I went there and I was told that I was going to speak at the funeral, and then I wasn't upset, I was just like caught off guard. And then when I had to speak at the funeral, I thought it was gonna go great because we had practiced the day before with my cousin and my grandpa, and then when I actually had to do it, there was like a part in the thing that I had to read. It was talking about like it said like the word dead, and then I don't know why that like, I don't know, it like caught me out of nowhere. I think like before when I was practicing it, I wasn't really registering the words on the paper, and so then when I was standing up in front of everybody, I was actually like registering what I was saying, and then like I just couldn't say the word, and then I just like started crying, and then my cousin was there and she started crying, and I just couldn't get it together, and then my grandpa had to come up on stage and like help me, not help me, but like comfort me and stuff. And so then blah blah, the end of the funeral, I came home, thought I was fine, and then I was fine for a while, because I didn't go to the burial grounds, the cemetery. I stayed inside the church. I didn't like watch, and I took a flower from the little flower bouquet that went with her, and I have it up here and on my side table right here. And then I came home and I thought it was fine. I was going to school and stuff, and then I started getting these like, not nightmares, but like these daydreams kind of, just in the middle of anywhere, like on the bus, in class, before I went to sleep, while I was in the kitchen, I could be cooking. Like I just keep getting them of flashbacks of me crying at the funeral and speaking and like seeing the casket in front of me while talking and stuff, and then I would just start crying wherever I was, and I would just feel so like stuck. Because like if you're in class and you have one, and it's like I don't want to be in class anymore, and I don't want to cry in class, and so you're like trying to get it together, but it's like I don't know, it's so random, like it would just randomly pop in my head, even if I could just be thinking about something happy, like wow, what am I going to do tomorrow, and then it would just start happening. And so I took myself to the counseling center here at Florida State, and that was trash, the person who I went to, because they were just kind of like, well, that's normal, there's nothing you could do. And so whatever, so I went to case management, to a counselor in case management. They're not really counselors, but I don't know, they're counselors because they're my counselors, and he did a lot for me. We spoke about it. We spoke about why my grandparents are so important to me. We spoke about how, because my grandma was the first like death that I really experienced while I was older, and so we spoke about how, because I started being scared. Besides the daydreams, I started getting scared that like everyone was gonna die, because I don't know, my grandma was the first death and hers kind of happened quickly. So I started thinking like, if I'm at school or I'm not spending time with my family, then what's gonna happen if like everyone dies? And then I started getting scared that everyone was gonna die. I was just gonna be here by myself. And I started getting like scared that like something's gonna happen to my sister or my aunts or something like that, and then everyone's just gonna die and I'm not at home spending time with them like they are with each other. Like everyone at my house was spending time with each other, going out together, and I was just at school by myself. And so I went to my therapist person, and he helped me work through it, and he was like, he just helped me work through it. I suggest you guys go to your school counselors and stuff for help with that. And then I also had like a problem with time, because I kept freaking out that I wasn't going to be done with school in time for everyone to be able to make it to graduation. And then he was kind of just like, well then why don't you go home? And he really made me see how I was making the decision to stay in school and I was in school not for myself at that time. I was kind of being in school to please everyone else, kind of. Because he was like, well, if you want to be with your family in this time, then you could just go and be with your family. There's nothing keeping you here. School's always around. School will always be here. And a lot of people would take that negatively, because they'll be like, oh, he's telling you to get out of school. But really, I took that positively, because he helped me put everything into perspective. And it really helped me see that like I'm choosing to be in school, and I need to make decisions for myself because it's affecting me. And so if I'm choosing to be in school, I need to be sure that I'm here for myself and doing what makes me happy. And he really helped me to see that school is always going to be around, and people come back to school when they're 50. And if I feel like I'm missing out on things that are important to me, that I should go and do them. With that being said, I stayed in school, but I didn't make me graduating be such a time constraint. So as the years went by, 2 years went by, and I started to get over my fear of everyone dying. And then I had this dream within the 2 years of my grandma. And when I had the dream, it was like just randomly, it was my first dream ever with my grandma in it. I've only had 2 ever, but this one was the most like real. And so when I had it, I like woke up and I was crying, and I wrote down all the details on this paper that I have next to the funeral pamphlet things and the flowers. So that meant a lot to me. I think that really helped me too. I don't know why, because it was really draining. I don't even think I went to class the next day. So yeah, those 2 years passed, and then graduation. Within those 2 years, my grandpa, he got cancer the year after my grandma died, and I didn't tell anyone. There was a day when I was really sad, because I was like, my grandpa's sick and my brother was doing something stupid at the same time, and so I was crying. And so I called my friend Alicia, and I had told her that he was sick, and I think I told her that he had cancer. She's the only person I told. She's the only one who knew that he did. And I don't know, it was being, I don't know, it was just weighing on me heavy at that time, and she really helped me through it. And then I guess there was a point where he was really sick, and I had to go to New York to go and visit him, because everyone was scared that he was like gonna die. And so I went to visit him in New York, because that's where the cancer center was. And I'm really happy that I went, because I really feel like it made him feel better. Not better, like medically, I guess, but better just like spiritually, I guess, to just be around, to have people who visit who like love him and stuff. And then he got better eventually, and after he did his chemo and stuff, and then I guess it was gone. I don't know if it was gone. Well, he just got better, and then he started like gaining weight and stuff back, and then he was traveling, I guess, and went home, and then a lot of time passed and everything was fine. I saw him around Christmas, I think, and I made this little video thing that's on my phone asking him questions about the family and stuff. And then he went back to Jamaica, and then I guess he got sick again, and so he came back to New York because he had like shallowness of breath and stuff. And so he was in New York, and then it was getting closer and closer to graduation, and then my mom had called me and she said that she wasn't sure if Grandpa was going to make it to graduation because he was like, oh, you only have a limited amount of tickets, so give it to someone else. And then I got upset because I was like, that's not even true. But then apparently that's not what happened. She just didn't want to tell me that he was like really sick and she wasn't sure if he could make it. So I talked to my aunt, and then she told me that he was really sick and he probably can't make it. And then I kind of had like, I was like crying and stuff, and I was really upset, and I called my dad. I was trying to tell him that I was not crying because he was dying. I was crying because I wanted him to make it to graduation. And then it's like no one could understand what I was trying to say. Like I wasn't upset because he was dying, because we knew he was sick. I was upset because graduation was just so close, and my grandpa, ever since my grandma died, he's been telling me forever and ever, I'm gonna make it to graduation. It doesn't matter what's happening. I'm gonna make it. You don't even have to question that. I'm gonna make it. And so when they told me that he might not make it to graduation, I was really emotional, and it's like no one could understand why I was, and it was so frustrating because everyone kept trying to tell me, oh, it's the circle of life, that's what happens, and no one could understand that I wasn't upset that he's dying. It was just that he wasn't going to make it to graduation. And it's like, even now I feel like you guys are going to understand me, but like to me it makes sense, because like I just felt like I did all of this, and I went to school for my grandparents because they paid for my first year of college basically. And it was like, if my grandma can't be at graduation and my grandpa can't be at graduation, then what is the point of graduating? And I know the point of graduating is for me and to get my degree and to do all these amazing things in life, and but at that time I just felt like they were my motivation for college, and I felt like I was doing it for them mostly. And it's like, if they're not going to be there to see it, it was just kind of felt like not wasting my time. Well, not wasting my time. Yeah, I felt like I was wasting my time, because I felt like then if they're not going to be there, then since I rushed and took extra classes during the summer to make sure that he could be there, that I could have just took my time, because it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So yeah. But fast forward 3 weeks, and it was graduation, and my aunt and my grandpa, they drove down here from New York, and he made it to graduation. And it's always going to mean a lot to me, because he said he was going to make it, and he always makes it to stuff that's really important to me. Like, he's been to all my graduations basically, and he, on prom day, he surprised me and came, and I don't even think he knew it was my prom day. He just came to Port St. Lucie to visit us, and it just happened to be prom and he was there, and on my birthdays and stuff. And so it really meant a lot to me that he made it to graduation even though he was sick, and even though I was stressed those whole 3 weeks, because it kind of made me feel like he just pushed through just to be able to see me at graduation. And so I cried when when I saw him, because I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. And then my cousin told me that he cried when he came to graduation, and so that made me really emotional. Also, so then we went to graduation dinner, and they were leaving. After they left, I cried in the bathroom because I felt like that was gonna be the last time that I saw him. And that was the last time that I saw him. But I didn't feel bad because I kind of just felt like I knew. And so that's why I was crying in the bathroom. So fast forward like a week or something like that, I was at the Springs with my friends and there was no service. And then when I came home, my sister called me and was like, well, why weren't you answering the phone? And that's when they told me that my grandpa passed away. But as I said, I knew it was coming, and so I didn't tell anyone again. But I did go straight to counseling. After I didn't go to the classes for like a week, I went to counseling, and then but I knew that my friend Janae found out because she follows my mom on Facebook, and then she told Aaliyah, and then Aaliyah told my other friend Monty, and then I didn't know that he knew. And so the whole week I didn't tell anyone because I don't know, I just didn't want to like ruin the fun that everyone was having with like sad news. And so then when I decided to tell everyone, and I found out that everyone knew besides Trinity, I told Trinity. That was great. Oh, and I told Alicia, Rachel, Isabella, Ostavia the day after I found out. So that was better than what had happened last time with my grandma. You know, I told them immediately. Because when they found out about my grandma, because I wrote a post on Facebook, they were really supportive, and so this time I told them immediately. So yeah, so now that's just my life update. I think I'm doing a lot better now with dealing with these things. I don't know, I'll see how life goes. I guess it's too soon to see if I'm dealing with it properly or better than last. This video is kind of depressing, but I just made this video as like an update to you guys, and I guess for me to look back on later. Okay, bye.